Bulacan, from Cavite. Well, Cavite is not a rice producing, or it is, but not really. More in Region 3, then you're going to have, a game changer of sorts. So maybe I have one more question, just one quick question. Can we be clarified as to what happened since the uproar on the food poor definition, and how are we going to move forward from the original 64 pesos a day? Because I understand, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of government intervention is based on the data. And one such data is that you're no longer food poor if you're spending 64 pesos a day for your meals. And I'm concerned because, well, and in fairness to Secretary Balisacan, this is my last question, Mr. Chairman. He already said that the data was outdated. He was quoted as saying that. So, question number one, are there programs that were guided by this food poor definition? If there were, have we made the necessary changes moving forward? And what is the new figure, if any, if a figure is already available? Please go ahead, Secretary. Kasi kahit na paano natin tingnan, and thank you for the Secretary saying it's outdated, mahirap paniwalaan na ang 21 pesos hindi ka na food poor, no, per meal. Go ahead, Secretary.
Thank you, Senator. Mr. Chair, yes, our threshold, poverty threshold, has been or is currently being updated. We have interagency groups that has gone through the whole exercise of repackaging the food menu and considering all the other non-food items as well. The threshold has been increased, and it's still not official at this time because they still have to be approved by the Statistical Coordination PSA Board, the Philippine Statistics Authority Board. But it's taking into account the changes in the cost of living, the changes in the composition of household, in the composition of the food items and non-food items. We would see the threshold to increase from roughly about 11,000 to 13,873 for a family of 5. Yes, yeah. This is just for 2023, no? Since there has been inflation since then, we'll further update this 13,873 for inflation since 2023. So it will be a bit high, and we'll apply the same this new threshold in 2025 in the calculation of poverty for 2025, because we are doing a nationwide survey now on family income expenditures, and we'll use this to estimate the number of poor. And let me also note that while we are changing the thresholds, again, the policy perspective here is that we want to ensure, we want to measure the progress we are making in poverty reduction. And we want to see whether the policies and programs that we are putting in place are effective or not. And so, while we have a threshold like this, to answer that question, it's not sufficient. We need to subject that analysis to various thresholds to see that or to examine that the conclusion we draw is robust. So, and as of now, as I stated last year, whether you look at the poverty threshold used in South Asia, which is much lower than us or comparable to us, or the poverty threshold applied for middle-income countries, as reported in the World Bank publications, you will see the same pattern that our poverty level, regardless of the households or the threshold you apply, has been seeing a reduction. And that to us is very encouraging.
Secretary, thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. I have no other questions. My time is up. Thank you.
The next on the list is Senator Marcoleta.
Maraming salamat, Chairman. Secretary, Boss, Recto, magkano yung budget natin for 2026?
Roughly 6.7 trillion.
Ano po yung projected revenue po natin?
Roughly 5 trillion.
That's why you said we are expecting a deficit of 1.6 trillion pesos for
More or less.
next
Cash
year.
deficit. Cash, yes.
gas.
Yes.
And that will mean 133 billion per month, 4.4 billion per day
Yes.
na uutangin natin,
That is correct.
or 185 million pesos per hour.
That is correct.
Nakakatakot, di ba?
Totoo po yun.
Pero sabi mo kanina, wag tayong mag-alala kasi alam nyo, nasa ano pa naman ito eh. Manageable, sabi mo kanina.
For as long as we grow faster than the debt, if the economy grows faster than the debt, then we outgrow the debt and we pay down the debt.
That is the problem.
Ang masama, if the debt is growing faster than the economy.
Yun nga eh.
Yes, sir.
At ano na yung outstanding debt natin sa ngayon?
Roughly 17 trillion.
17 trillion, what is the debt to GDP ratio?
61% because the economy is roughly 28 trillion. But that's one benchmark. There's another benchmark, yung general government debt. Doon naman, mga 57% lang tayo. At katulad ng nabanggit kanina sa presentation ko, meron naman tayong upgrade sa ating mga rating agencies dahil nakikita nila na the economy is still growing faster than the rate of our debt.
Kasi
Ang mahalaga, we reduce the deficit over time.
yung aking mga kaibigan na mga pessimists, sabi nila, alam mo, yung comfortable na ratio is 60%. Ngayon,
Tama po yun. Nung araw,
na-breach mo na yung parang lumampas na tayo.
depende yan kung ano ang debt mo. Katulad nung nabanggit ko kanina, 70% of our debt is domestic.
Hindi, 69% na sinabi mo kanina.
Oh, 69, 70%. Roughly.
Okay,
70%, yes.
Kasi tinatandaan ko lahat ng sinasabi mo.
Tama po yan. Tama po yan.
Ganito
So,
eh,
69% ang
okay.
domestic.
Ang sabi mo kanina, pumaya pa tayo because, ang domestic natin ay 69%. Correct. At lahat naman ng yan ay napupunta na dagdag na kita ng ating mga kababayan.
Utang natin sa ating sarili. Tama po yan.
Yes, sir. Ang problema, kamukha nung napapatunayan sa aming mga pagbubungkal nitong mga flood control, mukhang yung mga ibang nauutang natin na ito nga ay naitatawid natin sa mga projects, lalo na yung flood control. Kahapon lang naka-establish na kami ng dalawa na ghost projects. Ang totoo niyan, binubungkal namin, there are about 60 potential flood control projects na ghost. So, kasama dito ay itong 69% hindi bumabalik sa kita kasi puro ghost ang nangyayari. Ito yung nakakatakot, Secretary.
I agree with you. At katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, we have to grow faster than the debt. So, halimbawa, kung yung flood control yan, nagastos ang tama yan, mahigit 200,000 trabaho na ibigay sa ating mga kababayan. At siguro yung ekonomiya natin hindi lang lumago ng 5.7%,
of 5.9% in the last 3 years on the average, kung hindi masigit pa. So, nakakalungkot talaga. Ito ang problema sa flood control. At siguro, meron din akong gustong kung mamarapatin po ninyo, maybe I can show you one slide dahil baka makatulong sa ating committee. Maybe I can show the DPWH slide. Meron akong slide na nakita at tayo naman matagal na rin tayo sa Kongreso at sa Senado at siguro ito makakapagbigay ng konting kaalaman kung bakit siguro lumaki yung flood control projects. Can we
Flood control. The DPWH slide.
Yeah. Can we flash the DPWH slide? Sana, ito makatulong ito. Kung titignan ninyo, itong slide na to. Condition of Philippine Road Network. Tignan nyo yung October to 16, 2024. Yung national road natin, kung titignan ninyo, total kilometers, 35,000.
Flood control na lang kasi, flood control na sinasabi.
Yeah, precisely my point. Tignan ninyo, national road, 99.1% tapos na. Tignan yung national bridges, 99.9% tapos na. So kung tapos na lahat ito, pero kita mo yung local roads, yan ang may malaking problema. So nangyari, linipat, kasi gawa na yung mga national road, napunta sa flood control as part of the core mandate ng DPWH. Kaya kung akong tatanungin, kulang tayo sa classroom, kulang tayo sa hospital, kulang tayo sa local roads. So siguro, at siguro kulang na rin tayo sa national, baka kailangan dagdagan din natin yung national road. Pero wala akong nakikitang data tungkol sa flood control. Opo.
Salamat po sa karagdagang karunungan, Secretary.
Salamat.
Babalikan po natin yan kasi
Opo.
pagdating na ng pagtatanong ko kay Secretary ng TBM, madadaanan natin yan.
Opo.
Yun po yung 6.7 trillion na budget. Ilang porsyento po yun ng ating projected GDP?
About 22.5%. Yeah. Roughly, 7.5. Thereabouts, huh? Can I see it?
Ito yung disbursement.
22%?
22%.
Where is it?
Oh, this is
21.5?
the disbursement. 22%.
Yeah. That's 22%. Yes.
22%.
Yeah. The disbursement is 21.5.
And what is our projected GDP?
About 30 trillion.
30
trillion, more or less, yes.
So we need to grow by how much in order to achieve this?
If the deficit will grow by 5.5% this year and the economy grows by, in real terms, by 5.5%, then equal lang. If the
But we need to overtake,
Correct.
kasi dapat mas mabilis ang growth
Correct.
natin sa economy. So what should be the growth?
So,
Ideally.
halimbawa, correct. So today, we expect the economy nominally to grow roughly about 7.5% to 8%, nominally including inflation, and the debt will increase by about 5.5%. Another way of looking at it, halimbawa, if interest rates are at 6%, pag umutang ka, and inflation is at 3%, your real cost of money is 3%.
Yes.
If the economy grows by 6%, panalo ka ng 3%.
Kaya nga, yung 7.3 must be achieved na growth natin sa economy.
Anything higher than the rate of debt,
At the very least, 7.5.
anything higher than the rate of debt, the increase in the rate of debt is positive.
But ideally, we need to grow at 7.5 para lang.
Ideally, if we could grow faster than that, even better. No, kasama ng nominal yun, nominal yun.
Yung collection effort natin sa tax, Secretary.
Yes. Opo.
Comparable ba yun dun sa collection effort ng mga Asian countries?
Very good
Kasi
question.
baka yun ang dapat nating tingnan.
That's correct. Very good question. Yes, we do have a slide on that. The average revenue to GDP ratio in ASEAN is 16.5%. So tayo, nandun tayo sa 16.5%. So lahat
tayo.
ang benchmark namin sa DOF. Tinitignan natin yung mga international best practices at dito sa ASEAN, yung benchmark dyan, yung revenue to GDP, roughly 16.5, nandun tayo.